I met a gypsy.
Have you ever thought much about the level of talent that you've got? Because like I was saying before with like, you know, we were talking about riding a 450 and Cody and like, you're just one of those, like, I feel like you're the European Hanson in terms of just like pure natural talent. It's not to say you don't work hard. It's not to say that you haven't trained. It's none of that. But just in terms of like, for you to have a dad that was like basically motorcycle retarded, and then to be able to win like everything that you want and have the career that you had, like that is called natural talent. So I'm just guessing that you got on a bike and were just fucking good at it. Have you ever wondered like what that is, why that is, where that comes from? Because I mean, even I talk about all the time, my brother fucking rips. Like he had a pro number, race nationals, like he was so good, and we had the exact same upbringing. Like he's just naturally sick at riding a bike. So, and you're on like another level even higher than that. So it's like, I don't know, have you thought about it? What it is, where it comes from, why?
Not really thought about it, but it's different because when I was a kid, I never I never had the best style as such. Like it's a little bit how I am now, but I just was never, nothing was like tidy. I just used to be quite fast. Like my elbows would be down. I was and even when I went to the first year of GPs, like I was just fast. Like I wasn't, you wouldn't have seen videos, say you watch from 2007, that I was a kid that's just pottering around in the right gears, like doing everything right. I was just, I would just put 100% in, like, especially when I went to that pro, like made the step into GPs. It was, I was riding actually and training with Jamie Dobb. He was my manager at the time.
Yeah.
And his whole thing was like just 100%, like whatever you do it 100%. So the fitness and stuff would never question it. Like the gate would drop and I would just 100%. Like there was no question that I was ever going to get tired. I was ever going to be worried about what I did on the bike. Like he never even said anything about technique. He's like, don't worry, just fucking, yeah. He's just go fast. And then it's sort of as I so my style then wasn't really as it was now. Now I'm a little bit almost, sometimes I think you need to be a lot more loose on a bike. You notice the guys that win, like Carmichael, they were never worried about style. That it was just speed. And I think now with the 4-strokes, that has changed a little bit. And you have to be a little bit more precise with what you do and how you ride the 450 especially. So it's something I've worked on a little bit, but I think I was just naturally quite fast and like didn't really care what happened in the race. And I think that's why it took me quite a long way, took me far, just naturally quite a fast rider as such. More than like, yeah, if someone watches the videos from 2007, 8, they're just like, fuck, I'm sort of hammering down everywhere. Like there was no elbows are down, feet are off, and I was just having to go. But for some reason, it's just changed as I've gone through my career. Now I'm quite, if I watch a video training, yeah, really smooth, really precise. But even when I race GPs, it wasn't. It's quite hard to be at GPs because fuck, you're such in the battle on a 450. Like you just get in. You get a bad start. If you get a good start, yeah, you can rip round. You're nice. You can do as you want. But if you get a bad start, you don't even have time to think. Like you're just getting fucking rocks thrown at you. You make one mistake, someone's up the inside. You go wide, someone's up the inside. Then someone makes a mistake, you pass them. It's hard to think, but it's one of them. I obviously had talent because when I went to my first race, like we done good, and then straight away I was like winning races. So some people have that, and others can ride their whole, like you said, like yourself, you've rode for years and you've never had that speed like your brother had. So it's hard to pinpoint. Like you said, he's had the exact same upbringing as you, and I had an older brother as well. He started a little bit later. I was obviously 5 when I started. He was 9, so he never had that. He didn't start from a kid, but he never raced as a professional. He stopped before professional because he started working. So just different. It's hard to pinpoint one thing and say like it's all talent or it's not work, because it's hard where they cross over. Do you know, like the talent and the hard work luck situation? I've heard so many things where people say, I don't believe in talent, and then other people were like, oh fuck, he's talented. Like everyone has a different opinion. It's one of those it's hard to know really. There's obviously something about it, because I find it quite easy. Do you know, when I'm having a good day, like it's quite easy, and I think like other people can't be finding it this fucking easy today, because or they'd be racing with me sort of thing. So it's another thing that when everything's good, I do find it quite easy to ride a bike, but then you'd expect so after riding a bike for 25 years. You know, it's difficult thing to pinpoint, I think.
That goes against what I would have thought, because like, yeah, I've never seen those videos of you looking fucking loose and just full send mode. I've only ever seen just like the smoothest, most technical, like clinical guy when you race. And so if you like didn't even really know that pro racing was a thing and you were just a kid that was just racing all the time, were you just like gnarly competitive as a kid and you just wanted to win? Because it's hard, like, or it would seem hard if you don't have the goal of racing pro from a young age to just like want to win that bad and to want to give it 100%. Like psychologically, where did that even come from?
I don't know really either. When you say, I've never thought about it that way, but I remember just being in tears. Like if I got second place, like there was tears every single weekend. If I won, I was happy. If I didn't win, and it was just, and that was always the way. Even when I went into professional,
and without a dad pushing you,
I never. Yeah, without he didn't care if I got second. He didn't care if I won. It literally made no difference to him. He wouldn't have cared. Even when I went to GPs, I never remember him saying one thing. So it never come from my dad. It was just. Yeah, just me, I guess. I was upset if I didn't win. So I guess that in me drove me to get to the top. It can be the only way. But there was a time where my dad would say like, "Fuck, you could ride a factory KTM next year," because there was like my manager saying like, "He might be on factory KTM." I was like, "Don't say that. Like, you're just being stupid. Like, I'm not going to ride there. Like, that won't happen." And then even the year before that, because my dad never knew nothing. Like, he didn't even know riders. You can talk to him now and he won't. He sort of knows a rider, but he'll get it wrong. Like, he thinks he's talking about one rider, but he's talking about something
Jeffrey
completely
Caroli.
opposite. Yeah, he'll say stuff like that. Like, "Oh, he won at the weekend." You're like, "No, he didn't." You're like, "Yeah, I watched it." You're like, "You watched the wrong race." He's like, "Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, all right." Like, so he sort of knows what's going on now because he's been around it so long, but never, was he like there saying, "Yeah, we need to win this," or "You need to do this to get that ride." Like, when he would talk about it, because he started to understand it more, like that it was a job and you could ride factory KTM. I would always be like, "Don't fucking say that. That's just stupid. Like, don't mention it." And then it just happened. So it's just weird how it happened. Really, everything just seemed to happen so quick for me. 1 minute I was riding. I was like, I remember even riding in a pit bike around Ernay Des Nations, which was in 2005, after I'd raced a couple of GPs, just with mates. Like, I was 15 years old, tearing around a pit bike, as you do at a GP. And then I raced 2006 Motocross of Nations in England. So but there was never a thought that I would have been in the Nations team. So stuff like that, it just happened so quickly.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.